Hello, Dan Matichuk here again, and I'm just putzing around down here today. Not feeling too good, a bit of the flu, but I wanted to show you one thing. I'm basically doing all the little things that I know I need to do to get down here to be ready to start actually making things, trying to catch up, and I had to make plugs for the Peepholes, because when I bought the kiln, she only had one. She had taken them, and she was using them for her new kiln. So she gave me some refractory, some like the castable refractory that the kiln is lined with. Or not castable, it's like pressed, I guess, but basically it's like a rigid castable that they press into the forms. What I did to make the plugs is I used a homebrew castable refractory that's actually works quite well, and I want to share that with you. You may already know this, you may have already seen this, maybe if you've ever done any metal casting, you know about it. But the furnace that I made, which is everything's in a shambles right now with tools and everything everywhere, but is made out of it. It's lined actually with it, and this is the pith, I believe it's called, which sits in the bottom of the furnace down there. There's one down in there now, and the steel crucible I use sits on top of this. This is the original one that I made out of the homemade refractory, and this one has been fired dozens of times. No cracks. The furnace actually held up really well. It is actually lined with fire brick, but it's actually holding up very well. The top has a little gap around, but no real cracks. That's normal. It shrinks away. And what that is 1 part furnace cement, 2 parts perlite, 1 part sand, and about a half a part, give or take, of water. And you want to use as little water as possible, obviously. And it's a real thick mixture, kind of sticky. You just mix it up and press it into whatever your form you have. And in this case, it's sheet metal, and I used a cardboard ring on the inside. But getting back to the Peepholes, I used a similar mixture. This refractory cement comes in these little tubs. There's basically 2 kinds, or 2 like strengths, if you want to call it that. This one is a regular. It goes up to about 2,500 degrees as is, and the other stuff goes up to 3,000, and the other stuff is black, which I've never been able to find it, but they tell me it's out there, or I've heard that it's out there. I'm sure you can find it if you look for it. But I'm doing low and mid fire, so I'm sure this is going to be more than adequate. I've melted copper, aluminum, like I say, dozens of times, and copper a few times. Actually, overheated copper a few times in that furnace with no meltdown. So it's pretty good stuff. The perlite, I don't know if you're familiar with that. It just comes in these bags, real lightweight, white, almost like crumbled up styrofoam is what it's like. And you just mix the 2 of those together, and you can press it into a form. Again, I don't know if I mentioned, it's 2 parts perlite to 1 part of the refractory cement for simple little things. If you're like the plugs is a good example. It's also good that way for repairs. On like the bottom of my little test kiln. In fact, I'll show you actually. You can see in there, I packed it in the bottom. My little test kiln. And getting ready to wire in my big kiln here. It still isn't wired in. But anyway, these are the little. Don't say anything about the way they're shaped. You pervert. Sorry, but that's them there, and I'll let them dry. They'll be dry in a couple of days, and then you can either fire them. I'll probably throw them in my test kiln, or you know, for a bit, maybe throw them in there till just to make them hard enough so that if they fall, they won't break. Of course, they're gonna cure once they're dry and they're sticking in the holes. But after I shaped them, I basically stuck them in the hole, pulled it out, and then reshaped it again, just to make sure I had the, you know, the angle and everything right. And they'll actually wedge in there pretty good. And this stuff is sandable afterwards. If you're, you know, wear a respirator, you can sand it down a little bit too. You can get actually a perfect fit if you wanted. But I'm babbling again. I'm sick. Need to go to bed. But I'm down here messing around, so I guess that's about it. And well, I made another batch. I got 5 more. 1 more slab. And managed to trim the rest of my stuff. Turn the pots. They're actually upside down now. Turn the bottoms. And you actually won't see any of this anyway, but I just wanted to practice turning. So, okay, take it easy. We'll see you.